Okay, DelusionDispeller here, and as I promised, I had a couple other things to add to this series. These couple other things are because there are so many different ways that narcissism shows up with people. Um, I wanted to include a couple extras. Love bombing. Um, Now, this isn't one of the 9 narcissistic traits, which is why I said these are extra. Love bombing is when you first meet the person that's the narcissist and they are whining and dining you. You are my bestest friend in the whole world. I want you to know that. Nobody understands me the way you do. I feel like we are soulmates that should have been together forever. In fact, it feels like we've been together forever. Know that I will never ever leave you. You will always be a part of me. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. They will say these things. And some people say them and mean that. You know, they don't just talk, they actually have actions, and you could be friends with those people forever. But narcissists use this to woo you into their web, like the black widow spiders that they can be. They want you to feel like you are above the rest, like you are their very special person they handpicked to be with them because you are so wonderful, and they make you feel really good. I mean, they really get the endorphins going and the oxytocin flowing, and you feel like you're almost high after being with these people during this time period when they are actually wooing you and whining and dining you. Now, after you've been abused by a narcissist, if you're like me and you eventually are resilient and bounce back and you get your life back, you recognize this really quickly because it's this drippy, sappy, flattery type of talk that is not normal. It's like over and above and beyond anything normal. And yes, I have to admit, I am, I guess you could say, guilty of overly praising people that I love. I like to pour on the praise, and it almost seems like flattery and drippy and sappy. The difference is I don't later then use people after wooing them into being close with me. Narcissists do this so they can get the person close and then later on do the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is devaluing. Now, the devaluing process goes like this. You're in the relationship with the narcissist. Usually about 3 to 6 months is the typical time I've noticed, and I've heard from other people that this takes, unless you have the misfortune of ending up with them long term in a marriage or a civil partnership type situation. But in most situations, like boyfriend girlfriend situations, it takes a good 3 to 6 months for them to drop their mask off and show their true colors after they've wined and dined you for most of that time. You'll notice it starts tapering off, the whining and dining and the being the perfect partner thing. And now you will be devalued once the narcissist decides time to move on to the next one. This one is not going to do anymore. They're not meeting my needs. They're not doing things on time for me. They're not making me look good or feel good about who I am. So it's time to devalue them as the scum that they always were. It's time for me to stop pretending, and I'm going to let them know what I really think. That's when you're going to hear, "What are you doing?" I'm at home cleaning the house. "Yeah, you probably got a guy there. You're probably cheating on me right now." "What are you talking about? I'm not cheating on you. I'm cleaning the house." "Yeah, sure you are. I know how you're sneaking around behind my back." "What are you talking about? I'm not sneaking anywhere. I'm just here at the house." Or if they're at work, "Oh, you're probably flirting with that secretary in the office." This suspicion garbage and the accusations of "you're probably not faithful to me. I can't trust you." Whatever. Also, "You're so ugly. I don't know what I ever saw in you. You're fat. You've let yourself go. You're a loser. You never would amount to anything without me anyways. Um, if it weren't for me, you'd be nowhere and nothing. Just remember that you're nothing without me. Who would want you?" Those kind of mean things that they say. They'll say things like, "People only want to talk to you because they want to get close with me." I actually had a narcissist tell me that. "The only reason you want to be friends with my mom still is so that you can eventually get back with me, and it's not going to happen." And to that person I said, "Are you really that vain?" that you think I want to use your mother to get close to you when it's already over between us as friends. You know, it's just ridiculous. They'll say things like, I taught you everything you know. Don't you ever forget that. And after all I've done for you, this is the thanks I get. You know, they love to guilt trip you, especially in the devaluing process. Or if they've already found their next supply person, they will say, oh, you really should meet her. She is so much better suited for me than you ever were. I'm just glad we found this out now rather than after the fact, aren't you? Or he's just so much better suited for the position than you are. You know, he is just top of his line, and I've never seen such innovative ideas, and I'm just really glad that we hired him on. You know, just mean, cutting, degrading things that make you feel worthless. So those are the other two things about narcissism. And there's many, many other things that they do. There's the bait and switch, where they promise you something, and then as you get closer to achieving it, they'll say, I never said that. I never said I'd get you that. I never said I'd do that for you. There's the double bind, where they want you to do something. They make it impossible for you to do it. There's power posturing, where they promise you a position and it never happens. There's the lies. There's the cheating. There's the degrading, the mocking. There's so much that goes into a narcissistically abusive relationship that I don't have enough video space to really get into all of it. But this just kind of gave you a little bit of an overview for those of you that wonder, am I in a narcissistic relationship? Remember, you have to have 5 of those 9 traits on those other videos that I just did. You can't go around diagnosing people. They need to be diagnosed by a therapist, but you can diagnose them in your heart to know what you're dealing with. Don't try to confront the narcissist and say, well, I've discovered you have NPD. You really need to go get out. They won't hear you. They'll basically flip everything on you and say, me? What about when you did this or said that? And remember, they know how to take into account records of wrongs, and they're very good and crafty at doing it. And they know how to say things and do things that can really cut you down in size. So be careful. Guard your heart. Anyways, as always, I've always said this on all my videos. If you're in an abusive relationship, please find a safe person and tell them. Get some help if you can. Get out if you can. If you can't, start reading self-help books. Read the Bible. Read The Language of Letting Go. Read some good books that teach you how to value yourself, because you only have one you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned as I make more videos when I get more topics. Thanks. Bye-bye.